Thoughtfully placed, well-made captions not only increase the accessibility, but also the clarity and viewing experience of a video. But making a caption can be time consuming. So today I want to share a way of almost automatically creating these captions with the help of an app called Descript. I'm going to open Descript. I'm going to go into the video project that I just made. And what I'm going to do is click this video and bring it in here. And as you can see, the file has been added. Now first we get this pop-up window that asks us if we want to transcribe this video or not. Now if you close this video, it will just add our video as a video file without transcribing it. But in order to make captions automatically, we need to transcribe our video. So I'm just going to click transcribe, and I spoke in the English language and transcribe. After hitting transcribe, we get another pop-up that asks us how many speakers we have. The speaker number is 1. And speaker name, I'm just going to add the speaker name and enter. And the language is English. Okay, I'm going to click done. I'm going to close this System Explorer window. And as you can see, the transcription is done. And I'm just going to see and make some edits if necessary. I just said some words twice as I was recording. I erased it and the rest are fine. Here's the layout of our Descript app. And here's the preview window. And we're going to use this transcript area to make our captions. And this area is the properties panel. After we make a caption, we can use this panel to format our captions in many different ways. And this is called the scene rail. It gives us an overview of all the scenes we have created. And the scene is how we make any kind of changes in any part of our video project inside Descript. The marker of a scene inside the transcript is this slash button. If we hover over this slash button, we can see that our whole transcript becomes highlighted in gray. This means that our entire transcript is currently one scene. Now, let's say I want to make this line into a caption. So for this, I'm going to take this line inside what I call a slash bracket, which would be is / in front of the line and the / at the end of this line. Now, if we hover over this slash mark, we can see that this line has become another scene indicated by the gray outline. Now we can see in the scene rail that there are 3 scenes. But we have made just another scene. How did these 3 scenes happen? So what has happened is this from this slash mark to this / mark is one scene. From this / mark and to this / mark is another scene. And from this slash mark to the end of the transcript is the 3rd scene. So to make a caption out of this line, I'm going to bring the cursor inside the scene bracket that this line is in. Then I'm going to go to this T option. And the last option is the captions option. I'm going to click it. And this line has become our caption. I'm going to bring the cursor in front of this line, or just go to this timeline and bring the playhead at the start of this scene. And then click play. I'm going to minimize this and open the Descript app. As you can see, this line has become a caption, and that's how easy this is. I did not have to type out the words, did not have to match the words with the time of speaking. It just automatically became a caption. Now, there is another way to create a caption from the transcript, which is by selecting the lines we want by clicking and drag. Let's say I want these 2 lines to become captions. So I'm just going to bring the cursor at the front of this line, then going to click and drag to select the whole line. We can also click and hold Shift and click the forward arrow to select, just like we do inside a Word document. And after this, I'm just going to go to this T button and select Captions. Now, 2 things to notice here. The first is, after adding the captions, the selected portion has automatically become a scene. We can see this by seeing these / marks. And also the scene number has increased to 5. And like this, we have gotten two ways of making a caption in Descript. First, by creating a scene, and then by clicking and dragging to select the lines we want to turn into captions in the transcript, and then clicking this T button and choosing this captions option. Okay, now comes this properties portion. So first, now this captions part is selected. I'm just going to click anywhere in the app to unselect this captions portion. Now I get these properties options for our scene. But if we click the captions options, we get these options. These help us create different types of captions for our project. The first is this captions button. We can turn these captions into the speaker name, composition name, marker, timer, or freeform. But for now, we're just going to keep it as captions. We can also use this button to adjust the opacity of our captions. Let's say make it 50 by clicking on the keyboard, and the opacity decreases. I'm just going to type in 100 again. So this is the full opacity. We can also use this I button to hide the caption. This can give us an idea if this particular scene looks better with the caption or without the caption. Now, next option is layout. Of the caption, the x-axis or y-axis. So let's see, let's turn this into 1500. Let's change it to 1300. And here it goes. We can also do the same for the y-axis. Let's make it 600. And it's moving along the y-axis. We can also just click the caption with our cursor and move it around. I find this clicking and moving around much easier than using these X and Y buttons. Another thing to know, when we're moving our captions along the frame, we can click and hold the shift key in our keyboard. Without the shift key, we can move it in any direction we want. And with the shift key, we can just move it along either the x-axis or the y-axis. And these width and height buttons can also be used for changing the width and height of our caption. Let's make it 500. It's a smaller one. These options can help us format the captions with much more precision. Well, the next one is the degrees option. This one helps to determine the orientation of our caption. Let's make it, let's say 200 and see what happens. Here it goes. Okay, let's turn this back to 360. And we can also do the same thing by moving the cursor at the corner of this blue line that appears when the caption is selected. And as you can see at the corner, there's this carved double arrow. If you get this carved double arrow, we can move it in any way like. Okay, we can select the caption from here and let's click out. We can also select the caption just by clicking in our preview window. Let's bring some words in by clicking the playhead here. All right. I'm just going to align it. Now the next option is a text option, and this determines the font of our caption. Here are some pre-installed options. You can also use this button to add another font to this font list. Currently, I am in the creators plan, so I can browse Google to add some Google fonts to it. But the pro plan users can upload this font from their computer. All right, and the next option is this regular option, which for the styling of the text, they can be regular or italic, or we can have bold italic, or let's just go back to regular. And this number indicates the number of characters that are present in our caption in one frame. So currently the number is 70. We can make it 30. So it becomes much smaller. Let's change this back to 70. This is good. We can also use this width button to determine how many lines of caption we want. Let's change the width like this. Now these 70 characters can be visible in 3 lines. Let's see. Here's the new project. I'm going to just name the file. These help with the alignment, whether the caption will be left aligned, middle aligned, or right aligned. And these can quickly align the caption to the top, middle, or end of the page. Let's see now. Caption, top, middle, or bottom. Again, let's take the captions, make this a little smaller, and drag this up. We can click this button, determine which case the letter is in. This will make all the letters uppercase, and this will make only the starting letter uppercase, and the other rest of the letters will be lowercase, like it's normally written. Now, next option is the style option. We have three types of captioning options in Descript, which can be formatted in many different types. The current one is the clean option, in which every word comes up one at a time and the future letters are not seen. But there are two more styles that you can use. The next style is called the classic style. Let's close it and see what happens. In the classic style, there's the new project. I'm going to just name the file. So as you can see, it will make every line appear as is without any movement. Go to the styles option. And the next option is my favorite option, which is the karaoke option. Let's see what happens here. Here's the new project. I'm going to just name the file, click enter. Before I go any further, I want to extend the captions a little. For that, I'm going to click the captions option and go to the edge of the caption, and it changes the cursor from an arrow to the symbol. And I'm going to drag it to how far I want the captions to go. And here we go. Let's see now what happens to the captions. Here's the new project. I'm going to just name the file, click enter, and there we go. Now I'm going to click the captions option and going to go back to the karaoke option and see all the formatting. The karaoke option has the most type of formatting. Let me bring the playhead to a part with more words. Let's bring it here. All right. So we have some previous words, some future words, and the word that is being spoken. I'm to go back to the style and karaoke option. This fill option indicates the color of the words that have already been spoken. So I'm going to click this, and if I change it to white, and written this direction. And as you can see, the spoken words have turned white. If I turn it to turquoise again, here we go. You can turn it to blue or red or anywhere, any type we want. I'm just going to make them white. Now, closing the color window, the next option is the border. This will give our words a border. This option is the colors option. I'm going to click it and change the opacity and change the color to this green here. And then going to close out of it and change this border number, which corresponds to the width of our border, to 5. As you can see, the revealed words now have this green border to them. The next option is the background option. We're going to click this plus option to add a background to our caption. This is not very visible. What I'm going to do is go to this circle and change the color, this orange option. All right. So this is what happens with the background option. Now, if I want to remove the background, I can just click this minus option that will remove the background. Click it and the background is back. We can also click this color button to adjust the opacity of the background by dragging this slider. Now let's close the colors option. We can get rid of all three of these options by clicking this minus arrow. This can give us different styles. If we disable the fill but keep the border, then we get this hollow words. I'm going to click the captions again. Go to the style karaoke and bring back the fill and make the borders disappear. Now our caption looks like this. I'm going to bring the borders back. Now the next is the active word, which I find very fun to modify. So the fill of the active word is now white and the background is blue. Let's change the fill to something else, like blue, and change the background to white. Now here is how this looks. You can also add a border. Let's just determine the width of the border to the side by typing 5 on the keyboard, click enter, and click this button to bring up the colors. We see the opacity is 0. We're going to bring up the opacity and give it a purplish border. Here we go. So we have changed the fill, the border, and the background of our active work. Now next is the future words, which are the words that are yet to be spoken. We can also change the fill and border of these words. But if we click this minus sign beside the future words, it will just give the same formatting as the already spoken words to the future words. This is also a kind of formatting. If we want to distinguish the unspoken words from the spoken words, we can go to this plus button. We can change the fill. I have changed the fill to be gray and decrease the opacity a little bit. I'm going to click out the fill and I'm going to give it a slight border of 3 and going to click this button to change the fill to be a little pinkish. I think it will look better if I just didn't have the background. Let's see, click the caption, go to custom and click the minus button beside the background. And let's see what happens. I'm going to just name the file, click enter, and there we go. Now here is a new thing to notice. The changes that I have made to my caption are contained within my scene. This part that I had extended does not have the formatting that I gave to this part. To demonstrate this, let's play this part again. I'm going to just name the file, click, and up to here looks like this. And if I go beyond this scene here, then it just looks like this, the one that we had before. Let's click our captions again. And these two are the last option. If we want, we can add a shadow to our caption. This determines how far away from our actual words the shadow will be. Let's give it a 5. Blur 15. I'm just going to change the color to white. Here we go. Here's the new project. I'm going to just name the file. It looks like there's a glow behind the words, doesn't it? All right. We can add other effects to it as well, like chroma key, color adjustment, film grain, pixelated, zoom, blur. We can use them one by one and see which one we like. Now we can add animations to our caption as well. We can add a spin or custom animations to it. Let's see what happens if we add spin. I'm going to move the animations just by clicking and dragging them here. I'm going to make it come to the middle. The second option is going to be like this. I'm going to add another animation. Going to bring the first one here and the second one here. The first one is going to be like this, and the second one is going to be horizontal. Let's start here and see what happens now. I'm going to just name the file, click enter. Now the caption is going to stream like this. Now exporting the caption. Captions are a type of text that are bound into our video. So if we export the video, it will export the captions with it. We can publish the video to the web, then download it, or you can click this export option, choose this video option, and then export it. I hope this video can help you with your video making endeavors. Whether you are making a video for yourself, your family, and your friends, or you are making a video for uploading into any social media sites. Hope you have a good day. See you soon.